What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just gonna get right to it. I'm gonna move my brother's car off the driveway so I can move my sedan on there and get this transmission installed. Alright guys, so I pulled the transmission out like an hour ago and I've just been taking a break, riding my scooter, feeding my cat. I cleaned everything up, but we're not done for tonight. I only cleaned everything up just so it looks better to me. But anyways, what I'm actually going to do right now, I've been sitting here debating, and I think I'm going to pull out the Exetti twin disc, this right here. I'm going to be pulling out the twin disc because this is used, way more used than the action clutch that belonged in the wagon. Actually, this clutch came from the wagon originally before I put the action in it, hoping to make a lot more power. And I decided that I'm just going to keep this car at a subtle 450, and took the turbo kit and put it in here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Exetti, right, it still has meat on it. I'm going to take this and put it in the wagon, and I'm going to take the brand new action clutch, which is over there, and I'm going to install it in this car. This car's going to be making a ton more power, and I want a brand new clutch to withstand the power for a longer period of time opposed to this used clutch here. So I'm going to grab some tools. I'm going to pop this sucker off. Now, I'm very aware that when you start making a lot of power and each time you remove your clutch, people recommend you change out the hardware to some new ones. The OEM ones do stretch, so they recommend either new OEM, torque them to spec, or ARPs. But when I did my clutch the first time on the old engine that blew up, these were brand new, and I did reuse them on this setup, but I'm not going to change them out because obviously I don't have, you know, new hardware or ARPs on deck. So I'm going to reuse these right here. I'm going to torque it down to 100 foot-pounds, and I think it should be okay. Knock on wood. Well, nice for you to join me down here. I want to give you guys a quick little comparison between the Exedi twin disc. Can you guys see that? What thickness? And then here's a look on the action. Look at that. I bet you two of these from the Exedi will equate the thickness of the action. Yeah, so this right here, the Exedi, still holds some power down, and I was able to do an all-wheel drive burnout. If you guys remember, in 2020 we hit 100K, we did an all-wheel drive burnout. This was the clutch that put it down, and like I mentioned, because I'm keeping the wagon over there at 450, this clutch would do the job. And we're not going to be using and abusing the wagon as often as it used to anymore, because I don't really drive it. So I figured this clutch would work in that car and hold up to whenever I do drive it. And then the brand new one that came out of the wagon, we're going to slap it into the EF sedan. So let's go ahead and get this sucker put back onto the engine. Somebody mentioned in the comments that they might have found a new kink from the sound of the torque wrench torquing the spec. All right, hope you enjoyed the sound of those clicks. Shout out to the Old School Capital. This is the second transmission that's going in my car. The first one went into my brother's. Let's go ahead and open this. Cut away from yourself, not toward yourself. This release fork is actually zinc coated all the way. On my brother's, it was only zinc coat half, and then this was black. We got the grease on the inside. Transfer case with the zinc. This envelope right here has some gifts inside. I'm pretty sure this is what I was looking for when I unboxed the first one from my brother's car. I believe these are stickers on the inside. There we go. We have some business card, Old School Capital. Be sure to check out the oldschoolcapital.com in the description below, and also their Instagram. I will link their email as well in case you guys don't have any social media and you guys are interested in something that they have on their website. Right here we have two old school decals. This is pretty nice. Got the black backdrop and then the white backdrop. Definitely gonna stick this probably on my welding helmet. And then we have a keychain right here as well too. I appreciate you, Justin, for sending these little gifts out. And just like my brother's transmission, this thing is super fresh inside and out. Case super clean, all the parts zinc coated, all the seals, all the crush, speed sensors on here. Guys, I really don't want to put this in my car. I would put this on a shelf in a glass container just to stare or look at it. This right here is an action clutch twin disc specific release bearing. It is definitely different than the OEM unit, so want to make sure you use the matching one. Look what I just found out. So I took off my half shaft to make it easier to put the trans in, and I don't think this is normal. So let me set you guys down. Hopefully you guys can see this. So if I'm holding this shaft right here steady, I don't know if you guys can see that. That is not normal. And on top of that, if you look at the rubber bushing, it's like coming out of the housing. Where is it at? Right there, you see it? You guys see that? Look. That is not normal. So this right here is the half shaft for the wagon. Let me see if this one has any play. These are both Type S half shafts. So if I hold this, okay, well this one does move too. I mean, not as much as this one, but and the bushing is not torn out of the housing. Oh, on top of that, look how much this moves around, right? And this one barely moves at all. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is using the half shaft from the wagon into the sedan for now, and then we'll find a different one for the wagon when I put it all back together. Almost forgot my SF Detent Springs. These will make the shift a little more crispier. It'll help the fork not pop out of gear. Obviously, you can see the size difference right there. Some people say there are pros and cons about this. Everybody that I know have used this has had good results. So because I already have them, I may as well rock them. These are the heavy duty spring and the SF gear selector. Because these studs have a 10mm nut welded to it, I can put a 10mm with a washer on there and thread it on the end. In case I want to take off the jack, I'm not worried about the transmission slipping off the studs, because this washer is not going to go through the transmission hole, so it'll hold it up in place. Sorry guys, got a little ahead of myself. Transmission's already bolted up, shift cables, grounds, and all that is installed as well too. But I was inside the car trying to figure out what is going on with my first and second gear selection. It has a notch. You can probably hear it. You guys see that? That's not normal, I don't think. I mean, everything is supposed to be tighter because of the SF HD springs and Detent Springs and all that, but I don't know what that is. So I'm gonna have to pull the whole shift selector out and make sure I installed it correctly, because I don't remember the transmission doing this before with the old transmission. So I'm not showing you guys every little thing because I'm just trying to get work done. I've shown you guys this 1,000 times, and I gotta figure this out. before I make further progress, I gotta figure out what's going on with that first gear right there. With the shift selector off my other transmission over there, shifts smooth. It is smooth at the shifter inside the car as well too. So definitely something to do with my HD spring or the SF selector right there. So I'm gonna take this apart and figure it out. Gotta take a little break from my car to work on a friend's transmission. I'm gonna show her shoes right there. Yep. But this is the transmission from your hatch, and this thing grenaded at the shootout.
Yes.
Yeah. And I picked it up from the car to put it on the table real quick to open it up to inspect it. And guys, there's a lot of noise coming from the inside of this thing, so I'm ready to open it up and see what we find. Oh, that is pretty dirty inside there. Oh yeah. Where's your fourth gear at?
Dang!
Completely gone. Yeah, there is no fourth gear. Look at that, gonzo.
Yeah, it's all shredded.
Man, he was going rounds, and then that fourth gear decided to leave the chat. Yeah, main and counter is gone. But I mean, everything else looks okay, but you really won't know until you pull the whole stack off to go through it. So I'm gonna take pictures of all this so that way you can probably send it to Guy and give him a second opinion. But yeah guys, that's gone. It is currently 10:43 and I've been messing with the shift mechanism for a little while now, and I think I figured it out. So what I did was, I remember doing this too, I put the SF shift selector, this little thing over here, into the shift mechanism that's on that transmission, and I also upgraded the HD springs right here, right? So my idiot self, what I did was, it was a little stiffer to kind of compress the whole entire unit to secure the 12 mil, this guy here, into that rod, right? So it was a little fight. So what I did was I took my hammer and I kind of tapped it, and I guess what I did was I closed this gap right here, and I took measurement that this is a little bit tighter than the one that came off this mechanism, because this is the one that belongs to that mechanism that belongs to that transmission. This was a little bit tighter, so what I ended up doing was I took this one from that mechanism, threw it on my mechanism, and threw it in the car, and it shifts smoothly now. So this is the one that came out of this trans, and I guess I'm just gonna have to like open this back up a little bit to make this mechanism at least work as a spare. So let me show you guys real quick. Grab a flashlight. So now I don't have that notchy first gear. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Loving it. So we're just gonna button up the entire car tomorrow. I'm trying to get it on the floor, fluid up, running tomorrow. So I guess we'll continue then. have any air pockets in the cooling system. I will tell you guys that the action clutch sounds way quieter than the Exetti, and I'm loving that. The clutch also engages a lot better than the Exetti. I feel like with the other one, it was like way too low. This one catches about midway, which is what I'm used to, so that's good. And that whining noise, man, whatever that noise is, I'm gonna have to figure it out. But the good thing is, it's probably not the transmission, because we just put a whole entire new trans in it. And that means I can still take it to the dyno and, you know what I'm saying, just send it with this trans. And the wheel bearing is probably something next on the list to do, because I don't know what else rotates that would make that noise. Transmission has been swapped, clutch has been swapped, half shaft has been swapped, axles, I mean, fairly new. I could try to warranty those out since they are brand new. Maybe wheel bearing, but at the end of the day, new trans is in place, and I'm probably just going to schedule this thing to get on a dyno just so we can finally put some numbers down so I can enjoy this car. But we got this out of the way, because at the end of the day, all the stuff that we could be changing out to get rid of the noise is all easier stuff than swapping out a transmission. So let's wrap it up. All right, guys, so we got down to the bottom of why the idle was fluctuating. Popped the hood, found the vacuum line with a banjo fitting on it, still connected to the intake manifold, bleeding off the air and causing that fluctuation issue. The banjo fitting is for the blow valve right here, and this is not installed because the charge pipe, we painted it wrinkle black and it's still drying, and I don't want to handle it until it's fully cured, although I've dropped it a few times already, but at least it's not on the side that you can see. Once it's all dried out, we'll put everything back together, back into the bay. Hopefully the idle surge goes away for good. But aside from that, man, if you guys have been following the build, we've been chasing this whining noise that gets louder as I drive, the faster I go. And I was like, man, it's coming from the bell housing area. I was like, you know what, let's just get another trans in it. And shout out to the TheOldSchoolCapital for selling us such a great looking, smooth shifting transmission in both my sedan and my brother's car. This transmission feels a ton better than what was in it before, because that was the one that blew the third gear. I replaced the third gear, I didn't clean the trans, and you know, it probably needs a rebuild now that I've taken it out of the car, like a full rebuild. But at least we have a solid trans in the car, because after now installing it, the whining noise is still there. But at least we ruled out the transmission along with the clutch, along with the half shaft. That means all the other possibilities are easy stuff to do. As mentioned, possible wheel bearing, which is easy to do, possible axle, which is easy to do, to take off and warranty it. And here's the thing too, when I drove this car at the meet in Lake Elsinore in SoCal, this car had no exhaust and it had all the all-wheel drive stuff installed. So I don't know if any one of those new installation to the car is causing this whining noise, because I most definitely didn't hear it before when it had the old engine in it, which didn't have the all-wheel drive stuff. And you know, the other process of elimination here is removing the viscous coupler, removing the rear drive shaft. Maybe it's a diff. I've read a lot of people on Facebook that have done all-wheel drive conversion, and they too have posted up threads about humming noises, whining noises, and a lot of people are saying it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Because if the car didn't come factory and you installed something that don't belong into the car, and if it's not straight as an arrow, you can have some sort of slight bind, whining noise, or whatever the case is. I never really noticed it in my CRX because the damn fuel pump was so damn loud. And I'm hoping that maybe it's something as simple as that. So the thing that's gonna cost me less to no money will be removing the drive shaft and viscous coupler next, to see if that fixes the issue. And then axles, you know what I'm saying, it's under warranty, it's literally brand new, and see if that will fix the issue. If not, I'll spend a little money, do the wheel bearings, and hopefully that might fix the issue, who knows. But regardless, at the end of the day, all the stuff to do now after getting the trans done is all easy stuff. So now with the new transmission in the car, I could technically schedule this car to get on a dyno just so we can finally start making some numbers, and we'll chase that wine as we go. Probably gonna have to make that call soon to make that appointment, man, because after the shootout just happened this weekend, I need to have some fun in my car, guys. I need to have fun in my car. This thing has been done like months ago and I have not driven it. I want to drive it. I want to feel that all-wheel drive G-force again, because I missed it in my red CRX that I sold a year and a half ago, if you guys remember that build. But anyways, guys, we're going to wrap it up for this video. Got some packages in the mail from my brother's car, so we're going to be hopping back onto his car here soon. If you guys are interested in a fresh transmission like the one in my car and my brother's car, be sure to check the link in the description below to the Old School Capital and cop yourself one, man. They're from overseas, but buy with confidence, because I had a great experience with them. So we're gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the progress update on my EF sedan. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you guys want to stick around for more wagon shenanigans, because I'm eager to install this S1 stuff in my brother's car. If you guys want to see all that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.